That's why it's not good for just us three to be doing this shit.
It's gonna get childish real fast.
Here's the thing, it's just us.
Episode 21.
21.
Can you do something for me?
Ain't they gonna know?
And it's Pride Month, baby. 21. Can you do something for me? Can you do a little reach flex for me? Y'all seen Drake? He had his nails painted.
I seen that.
21. 21. That nigga had his nail like that.
He did have his hand like that.
He had his shit like this.
His car got
man.
declined or something, right?
Yeah. He was mad too.
Probably spent all that money on them nails. That's why.
$1,000 a nail and shit like that.
Just
Probably.
cause. It's stupid.
And how was y'all week, man? Weekend so far?
Oh, mine was pretty cool, man. Did a lot of running this weekend. This week, work got the best of me, but, I'm out next week, so I'm cool, man.
You off for a whole week?
Whole week.
When you say running, you mean like working out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know nothing about that. How about you, Ken?
Week started out great. It was Memorial Day Monday, so
yeah.
I did not go to work.
It was a long week, though, huh? Even though Memorial Day was Monday, huh?
Kinda.
It was a regular week for me.
It felt
I
long
was
as hell.
hot the entire week.
It was
you
hot.
know I'm going, bro. Yeah, man. But other than that, it was
Man,
cool.
I had a good week, man. I can't complain. It's all good, man. I am Fabian to the right of me,
Ken.
to the right of him.
Then,
And we are the Just Us Pod. Mel is
On a business trip.
Mel is on a business trip.
We kicked it off.
Getting her hips dipped. Getting her booty hole licked.
oh, my God.
She is
Oh,
not gonna
man.
like that.
She gonna cut all that out.
Yes, she is.
Don't cut this out either when you see this. Ain't nobody tell you to miss a podcast because you wanted that man to lick your gooch.
Women
She
got
might be
Gucci's?
doing it, too.
No, they don't. I just said.
Oh,
She might be doing, she's been talking about
Yeah.
putting that bib on.
Just because you wanted to blow in that man booty and not be here.
that's disgusting, bro. If anybody, never mind.
But I think she'll be out for a booty eating tour next week, so she might be back next week.
Oh, man.
Hey man, did y'all miss me? Y'all miss me?
What you talking about?
I miss you.
Did y'all miss me?
What are you talking about?
What? I haven't seen it.
Look how uncomfortable we get when we talk like this, bro.
That's why I
I'm trying to
said.
figure out where he going.
Did y'all miss me? I missed you guys. I haven't seen you in a week.
I can't say I have.
No,
We
you
talked
haven't
all
missed
week.
me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to miss each other because we are constantly talking.
Do you guys think about me? Do I think?
Are you trying to make it a purpose to like
No, I'm asking the question. Do you guys-
Shout out to June, the month of June. I ain't gonna say why.
Exactly.
Shout out to the month of June.
What's wrong with
you
y'all?
trying to make
Oh,
it stand
man.
out that it's Pride Month?
No, bro. Do
Not
y'all
insinuating that you. Never mind.
do y'all think about me?
As a friend, yeah, you my boy, man.
Yeah.
Why you soften up when you say
Yeah, like I just don't like how you're asking, bro.
I think about you guys.
Oh, man. The tone in which you're using,
You also-
like, it's crazy.
And it's like you also sound like a sad kid. At
No,
the
I'm
same
just
time,
I'm
bro.
asking the question, bro.
Nah, but I mean, yeah, like I miss my friends. I'm, when we're away from each other, there's certain things where it's like
you-
this moment right here, this would be dope with this person. With
Right.
if A was right here, man, we'd be doing this. If Ken was right, like, yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
do think about me?
yeah. Yeah.
Why are you laughing, bro?
Because it's the way you keep saying it. That's the only reason.
I think about you guys, man. I think about y'all, man.
That's
Y'all having a
understandable.
good week or something, bro.
I'm over here looking at the board like this ain't on there, right?
He don't want to make eye contact either. You looked in his eyes.
Oh
didn't you?
God, that was good. That was
Oh,
good.
man.
Hey, look.
You looked in his
Shout
eyes,
out to Sadia. Sadia sent me a video
Oh, that dude.
of somebody doing that. And
they're like English or something like that.
Y'all
Yeah.
acted exactly how they acted when I did that, bro. He asked the exact same question. Hey, man, so did you guys think about me at all? And you can see the uncomfortability immediately throughout y'all pause. Both of y'all was like, what? Kim was like, what the hell? What do you mean?
Your tone was throwing me off, brother.
Sadia sent me that video. She's like, hey, you need to do this to the guys on the pod. That was dope,
Don't
though.
do that.
That was good, Sadia. I like that.
Try to get us canceled already.
I almost called you something that rhymed with a maggot, bro.
That was hilarious, bro. Y'all funny as hell.
Oh man.
Oh, man, but I do have a question for y'all, man. Oh, my God. Y'all are hilarious.
Are you drunk right now?
21.
Oh my God.
You know, most, all of us are in relationships. Dennis married. Ken now engaged. I'm in a relationship. Is there anything, if at all, y'all wish somebody would have told y'all before you got married, before you were in a relationship? Is there anything at all y'all wish somebody would have laced y'all up on?
Speaking for me, for marriage, like it's not just the title. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people go into the thought of marriage as, okay, this is just me calling her my wife and my husband or whatever it is, but there's a lot more that goes to it. I actually had a brief conversation with Ken about this, right? Like, marriage is tough. It's work. It's a roller coaster. There's ups, there's downs, but at the end, just like a roller coaster, you got to get off at the same stop. You always got to go home. You always got to live in the heated moments that you're gonna have, right? Or the disagreements. You're not gonna see eye to eye all the time, but you got to understand. And I've said this before. It's a business together, right? At that point, you're now in business, and this isn't only your partner in life, but this is your partner in this business of marriage that you have now. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's great moments that overshadow all the tough parts, but when you're in those tough parts, man, it can be very like consuming. But you gotta go through that, man. You have to live through that. Every marriage ain't perfect. Every marriage ain't nothing but good. There's gonna be some bad times in there, but the important part is to get through it. You can't just end a marriage just cause.
Yeah, I agree there.
I wish somebody would have gave me the winning lottery numbers. That's about it. But honestly, I don't think nobody could have told me anything different, because for the duration of my relationship prior to being engaged, we treated the relationship as if we were married. Like, we didn't hold anything back because we weren't married. I see that a lot on social media. People not giving they all within a relationship.
Talk about it.
We didn't do none of that. We was honest and transparent the entire time. What he said does make a lot of sense as far as it's going to be tough. Before the engagement, we probably went through one of the toughest times we have experienced in the relationship, but we got through it. So that was more of a reason to put a cap on the relationship and start the next chapter of our lives into, engagement and marriage. So that's a wonderful thing, and within that, there's a lot of growth. You know what I mean, from both of us, and it showed us how much we actually care for one another and how understanding we were for one another and feelings and things like that. But on a more personal level, like I said, I don't think it was something I wish I would have known. I think on my personal level, I just wished I would have been more experienced to certain things. You know what I mean? Because I'm a homebody, so I can get very complacent and want to stay in the house a lot. And I can't always do that. So I just wish I had more experience as far as just getting out and things like that.
There's so many things I probably could say. I wish somebody would have walked me through. Just living with someone and understanding that there's going to be times where there's nothing wrong just because they're not talking to you. You know what I mean? Understanding that, feelings are involved on every level of a relationship. It could be that they had a bad day that day. It could be a child did something. And, it's just so many different elements and so many different angles that, life comes at you individually. And you don't understand it when your partner not giving you what you expect of them daily. You know what I mean? It's things that on a daily that you expect from someone, and that's tough in itself, right? Like, for you to wake up every day and expect this person to be the person that you've always known and you've always loved. And one day they may be going through something that you have no idea about, that they haven't talked to you about, and they didn't do something. Let's say, for instance, they text you every morning and you don't get a text. Your first thought is, oh, what the fuck going on? Like, you ain't, not your first thought should be, is she okay?
Right.
Is he okay? And I think it's just those little nuances that you got to figure out throughout the relationship and understand that not everything is about you.
Right.
Everything is not about you all the time. Some things is about them, and sometimes you have to sacrifice you in order to figure them out for y'all.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that shit sometimes is tough. It's super tough, and I'm still learning. It's still a huge process for me. I just believe that if you love somebody, then you're gonna work through a lot of things. If you care enough about someone, you're gonna work through a lot of things. If it's something that you actually want and something that you're just not trying to get rid of and you want to make it work, then you're gonna endure a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So, is it some things that I wish people would have told me about? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? You know, the cheating, not expecting them to understand right away that. Yeah, that's like what I mean is when something like, you know, as drastic as cheating happens in a relationship, you know, you automatically expect somebody to forgive you. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, you done found out now. I'm not gonna do it no more. Goddamn, get over it. No, it don't work like that. No. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I know what he thought I meant when I said, like, no, don't expect someone just to cheat on you. You don't got to take that. This dude is an idiot, man.
It's the way it came out.
I know, man. But it's little things like that, man. Like, you got to have different expectations every day. Every day is different. Every week is different. Every month is different. Things are forever changing. People are forever evolving. Yeah. The person that you knew last month, you probably not going to know this month because that person has changed and it's different. So you have to be willing to grow with your person if you 100% feel like that is your person. Yeah, I feel like and that brings me to my next.
I just wanted to.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
One little thing real quick. And when people, you know, when y'all do get in relationships, for those of the people that aren't in a relationship, allow that person to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Right. It may be a day your person doesn't feel like talking. They might not feel like playing. I know guys, we experience when women go through that time of the month, they could be more sensitive. They could be more irritable. Mm-hmm. Men have to have that understanding. You know what I mean? And so I think that comes with being patient with your person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You have to.
Also, like,
put in the work to understand your person.
Yeah. Also, like, men, you know, we tend to want sex. Sometimes in some relationships, you might want sex more than your partner. Mm-hmm. She might not want it that day. Okay, just roll over and go to sleep, bro. You'll be all right. Mm-hmm. Or do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
She got to be understanding that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to have that open line of communication also. And within that, just be honest with your person and be understanding.
Man, it's such a war in relationships with feelings and love and understanding and, you know, really wanting to be who that person needs you to be in every facet of the relationship, man. It's a war. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Put the toilet seat down.
Yeah, all of that. You know, all of these different things, man, it is a true war. But you have to understand that it is a war that nobody's going to win. Mm-hmm. And you have to understand, like, there should not be a winner. Like, y'all have to come to terms, like, there's going to be this war, but in this war, how can we both win?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a war. The way I would say it is, it's like a scale. Mm-hmm. There's going to be days where it's heavy on you. There's going to be days where it's heavy on me. But overall, eventually, we're going to have some very balanced days.
Yeah, we have to find that balance sometimes because without that balance, a lot of people don't. If the beam is too heavy on this side or too heavy on this side for too long of a time, and you never ever find balance, ever. Yeah. That's where a lot of people are at the courthouse trying to, you know, get them divorce papers. Yeah. Or they splitting and trying to see who taking what couch and what bed.
Yeah, that's just like the 50-50 talk. You know, people say relationships are 50-50.
Yeah.
And, you know, that person could give you all they got for that day. Just like you said, they could be going through something. And they ain't tell you. So that person is giving you 100% of what they can that day, but it's just that they 100 isn't equaling your 100 that day. So it may feel like you giving 90 and they really giving 10. But that 10 is 100% of the 10 that they can give.
Agree, 100%. And that's why I believe growth has to be together in a relationship. And let me know if y'all think otherwise or how you feel about the subject. But I don't believe in a relationship that you can grow differently. Or you can't, or one can't grow without the other, is what I meant to say. And what I mean by that is I can't be the only one progressing individually in my home, in my relationship. Because that then it sits on your person in a matter of, damn, why everything always happening good for you? When is it going to be my turn? It starts to get very, very vague on what it means for the both of you when it's just one person progressing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So I don't think that it's help. I'm not saying don't create your own lane and don't be an individual within your relationship, because that is important as well. What I'm saying is be very, very careful and cautious about in the way that you're growing and how you're growing, even though there's certain things that you can't control in that relationship. If it's certain things that you're pushing for and you're getting rewarded for those things, it is what it is. But be very, very careful with your partner about how things are being presented and rolled out and laid out, because that can cause resentment. And I don't think that it's right for it to cause resentment, but I think it can cause resentment in a relationship when one is stagnant in anything that they're trying to do and the other is not.
Yeah, I understand that, and you're right. It shouldn't cause resentment, because if you truly love that person, any type of positive news that person receives, it should bring positivity to you as well. You should be happy as well. Not only, I mean, you get to celebrate with them. That's part of, that's y'all's life. That ain't just theirs. It's y'all's life. Y'all are, enjoying that accomplishment together. But I will say, as far as the growth, it does has to be together. Whether it's, just think of it like, you ever seen movies where they have like, I'm gonna make this up, like tandem mountain climbing. One person to go up and the other person to come up behind
game shows,
them.
for instance.
Yeah. So as this person, you can start ascending together, but your path on this rock might hit a wall where you're not growing as much. But this person's path, they're able to navigate and continue to go up. And as they go up, they're gonna pull on that rope. Hey, I need you. Come on, and then you go up with them. Yeah. So and it makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna use my relationship for example. My fiance, she started her job about a year and a half ago now. Made more money than she's ever made at her job, which is a blessing. Not even a whole year later, I want to say like 10 to 11 months later, she got a raise, and that's a raise and she got a promotion, not just a raise, she got a promotion. And she's excelling in that. And there's also talks of her moving up again. Yeah. So, and that's wonderful. And I love that for her. I love it for us. Me, on the other hand, I'm doing well. I'm good at my job, but the opportunities to grow aren't as prevalent. Right. You know what I mean? But I'm not, there's no resentment in there. Yeah. You know what I mean? All we're looking at now is how can we continue to do this and continue this relationship to grow. So now we have business models that we're talking about and plans that we're choosing to execute in the future, and we're going to go from there. So the growth does have to be together.
Yeah, definitely got to be together.
I don't know. If I compartmentalize this stuff, right? I feel like you can grow on different paces, different speeds, or even one can remain stagnant when it comes to career/business. To a certain extent, because I would love to be able to excel enough that my wife doesn't have to work, right?
Amen.
But when we look at emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, maturity in general, like this is where I feel like, yeah, you're 100% correct. Like you guys have to grow step by step. Yeah. You take a step, I take a step. Or if I take 5 steps, hey, you're going to take the next 5 steps after that. But I think it really depends on the people and the areas of growth in which we're discussing, right? But I can also see, I've been in relationships or I've been in situations where my growth did get in the way of somebody else because, it can be very consuming, right? You can consume yourself in a lot of things that you're trying to build on, and that takes away from that person at times. So if you go into it with somebody that understands that the work is going to have to be there and this is kind of where you guys are going to, go through, then, you can make it work that way.
Yeah. And, I'm glad you brought up the, growing emotionally and spiritually and stuff like that. That's another aspect of it, too. There's absolutely no way that you can mature alone in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I can't be still going clubbing every weekend and you've stopped.
Right.
There's no way that I can begin my spiritual journey, if it's Christ, if it's whatever, and you're not a part of that, or you're against it. Those kind of things are never going to work out in a relationship if you don't do it together.
Yeah.
There's certain things in a relationship that you just have to grow together in order to win together, in order to be together for the long haul, and in order to really just be with each other, period. Because if you don't grow with each other, you're not going to be with them. There's no way.
A relationship cannot grow, strengthen, or solidify without having both parties putting in the work.
And on the same page. And you might not get to that page at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. That is not what we're saying. But at some point, it has to align. The pages have to meet. You have to be at the same chapter, on the same sentence at the same time in order for you to grow. Now, whoever gets there first, doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. But at some point, both of you got to be there.
Right.
And that just is what it is. And if you feel like otherwise, then I'm 100% sure that your relationship probably has turmoil. There's probably differences every single day about something. Y'all being petty in the home. Y'all not talking to each other for petty reasons or small reasons. I'm 100% sure that these things are happening because you just want to allow yourself to meet your partner wherever they are.
Yeah.
And that's just 100% what it's going to be. I think that in relationships, a big part of it is whatever relationship, right? A big part of it is confrontation. And this might sound crazy, but I wholeheartedly believe it to be true. There's a lot of power in confrontation because on the other side of it can be flowers, can be gold, can be roads paved of what you never knew that you can have. So I feel like there's a lot of power in confrontation. And it's super tough to have these tough conversations, but you have to have them.
Yeah. I like using my analogies, right? Mm-hmm. So if you know that you got bad tires on your car, you know that you need to change them tires. If you keep putting that off and avoiding that resolution to fix this issue, your suspension starts to go out, like your front end starts to go out. So yeah, you have to spend the money, or in this case, right, or confront the situation in order to move past it and to have a better ride. You know what I mean? So it is tough because, everybody's just so different that no matter who you're talking about, whatever type of relationship it is, whether it's business, a sexual relationship, a friend relationship, family relationship, everybody's so different that it becomes very difficult to know how to go into this conflict or how to go in, address this, situation, confrontation, whatever you will. So when you can get out of that is when you can start building on that relationship with that person or solving the issue amongst each other.
Yeah. I'm very big on avoiding confrontation because I know my personality. I tend to I have a bit of a temper problem. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've done very well with it as of lately. Not just lately, but over the years. One, because I avoid confrontation. Two, I don't put confrontational people in my life. Yeah. One. But I do agree that it's power in it. Once you gather the words that you're willing to say, you come to a mental space that you're ready to handle said confrontation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like the saying goes, another analogy, smooth seas don't make the best sailor or something like that. Don't quote me. I don't know it for sure. I just pulled out the back of my hat. But, and what it's saying is, as long as there's nothing going on, you know what I mean, it's easy to navigate that.
Right.
But once a little turmoil comes about and you got to actually steer and, you know, correct the ship and on the right path, then after that, you know, you gained a little something. You know, that's when, like you say, you see flowers. There's the growth that we were just talking about. You know, you actually feel a little better about whatever the confrontation was. You know, you get to bury that hatchet and go on about your business, move on to the next level. I think that's what it is. You're leveling up once you know, it's like the final boss of a video game. Once you beat that boss, you know, you go on to the next level.
I bring it on head first. You know what I mean? I don't avoid conflict. I invite it because I know that it's something there to be talked about. It's a frustration from somewhere about something that's going on. I do it in my relationship. I do it in my work. I do it with my kids. I do it with my spare time with the kids who I coach. I always tell them to be open and upfront about anything that's on your mind, whether it be my kids' relationship, these kids that I'm coaching, work, whatever it is, because in that comes a conversation that you probably never would have had with people you probably never would have had it with.
Right.
You don't know what someone is feeling. You don't know what someone is going through. You don't know what someone needs from you until you have these tough conversations. And you cannot avoid them. You cannot avoid this conflict. You cannot avoid this confrontation for the simple fact that it's needed in order to grow, like the things you said, in order to see what's on the other side of that, because it may be a relationship that you can't mend. It may be something that is so tough or is so hard to get over or mend that you cannot even get past whatever this conversation that y'all about to have. But you'll never know unless you have these conversations. Unless you have these conflicts, you'll never know. So I invite it wholeheartedly. If there's something you need to get off your mind, if there's something that you need to get off your chest, if there's something that you need to say that you feel like is just troubling you that much, come say it. Especially if it has anything to do with me. Come tell me. And we can figure out whatever we need to figure out once we both say our piece.
Yeah.
But without saying your piece and without understanding what that person feels or what that person is going through because of whatever you may have done or whatever you may have caused them, then you'll never be able to get past that conflict. And if you don't leave that door open for them to come to you, then you'll see a difference in the relationship at whatever capacity, at whatever level. It may be the relationship, like I said, with your partner. It may be with your kids. It may be with who you're mentoring, you're volunteering with. It may be in your workplace. But you'll never know. But you will know that there's some kind of friction because there's always going to be some little push and pull tug about it. And you'll never know because you've never opened up that space and that opportunity to have a conversation.
And not every confrontation is always going to result into an argument.
Right. It's not always negative.
You might, hey, man, like, I like the AC at 65. Oh, why didn't you say nothing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could literally be something so small like that not everything always has to be an argument.
All you have to do is just say something. That's it. And still in relationships, still talking about relationships because we've been here for a while. You've been married for a while now. I've been in my relationship for a while now. You've been in your relationship for a while now. Would you guys would have preferred to meet them with their shit already together?
Nah.
Or y'all want to build? Nah. You would have liked for it to be exactly how it is. You would have liked
for me personally, I wouldn't have changed anything.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because I think that we both had to go through the hardships together. And that's why we're able to tackle some of the stuff that comes today.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
So
because like if I would have went into it and she was rich, I don't know how this would have turned out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, I appreciate us going through the hardships together.
Not even just being rich, like just literally having her things together. Let's just say she already owned a home. She was already settled in her career. Let's just say that she didn't have any debt. You know what I mean? When you got to her, this woman was full. This woman had her things together. All you had to do was add love to the situation.
Yeah.
Add a confidant to the situation. All you had to do was add that other piece to her puzzle, you know, which was being her husband and being everything to her that she needed you to be. Would you have rather that or what you, like you said, what you all had to go through?
From my side, I'll say that I wouldn't change nothing. Yeah. I don't know how she might tell you something completely different, but nah, man, I don't know. For me personally, I like how it panned out for us because we were both growing, we were both, you know, excelling career wise. So yeah, no, I wouldn't change it for me personally.
I don't know. I don't think it's that type of a question for me. I just feel like it's so like what's the word? It's like a backhanded thing to say, I wish she had that shit together.
You won't catch me on camera saying
but in all fairness, I honestly, I'll say it this way. At the age I am now, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely rather a woman with her shit together. I don't want you to bring me excessive. I'm not saying that I won't take baggage, but I don't want you to bring me excessive baggage. I don't want to be year 2 and you telling me that you have $15,000 in credit card debt. I don't want to be year 2 and you telling me that you have a repo and 3 goddamn evictions or something like that. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You call me shallow, call me whatever you want to call me. I don't want you to go into year 2 or 3 and you tell me you got a baby daddy who in jail that y'all never broke up and he about to get out next. No, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? I want all your ducats in a row because if I ever had to, if I ever was, wherever I go to next, I'm going to be straight. I'm going to have my things together, so that's what I'm going to expect.
Yeah.
Now, long-standing relationships, of course, you get a pass. If you were young or if you started off and you guys kind of were trying to figure it out, kind of like what you said, of course, I 100% agree. I wholeheartedly agree. You were trying to find it, trying to find your footing, trying to find exactly what you needed to do as far as just you as a person to grow. I get it. Yeah. Now I'm with you. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Fuck, we're together. We might as well figure it out.
Yeah, let's figure this shit out. But if I just had to, man, give me somebody who got their shit together. I don't want no debt. Like, just imagine how much easier your life would be if you had people around you whom you have to deal with on a daily that had their shit together.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Mm-hmm. Why would you not want that? And there's some people, like Dennis just said, say you wouldn't change anything. I think that's a lie.
That's fine.
But again, I did say you went through it because y'all started off years ago and y'all were trying to find your footing out here in this world or whatever the case may be.
Oh, but what we was just talking about, damn, that messed me up because I had my shit together. Oh, yeah, I do wish, not that I wish she had her shit together, but I think we both could agree that we both wish we had like a great uncle somewhere that was ready to kick the bucket with $200,000, life insurance waiting on us. You know what I mean? But
For sure.
Other than that, I love the route that we've taken so far because it's helped build character.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You don't got nothing but character to build when you broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to figure it out.
We done been through some tough times, boy. We done been through it. So, and that's the beauty of it. Just like you hear your professional athletes talk about the grind so much and where they've come from. All we get to see is what's displayed on on the main stage. And, how polished they are as a current player. We don't see the long nights of them putting up 200 plus shots after a bad game, or in practice running till they puking and all of that. You know, the strains and stuff on their body in the weight room. We don't get to see that, but a relationship is the same way. So yeah, I embrace where we've been so far. You know, if we still here and we've been through quote unquote hell and back, then we only gonna get stronger.
100% agree.
You know, at this point, you know, the foundation ain't break. Whatever y'all been through, then you good.
Millennials.
What is a millennial?
I think a millennial is. Look that shit up. I think it's.
You just told us to put our phones up, bro. God damn.
That's before we start talking. I think a millennial is.
I'm gonna make you put your phone down. My bad. Eric Badu hard, but
Eric Badu is hard though.
yeah, fine. We're millennials, ain't
So from 81 to 95.
Yeah, we millennial.
Okay.
So millennials, what do y'all believe?
we old now. One thing we are.
Old as hell, boy, for real, know what I'm at. But for millennials, right? What do you think we're dealing with the most?
To sum it all up in just one word, I would say breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I say that because everywhere you look, no matter who you talk to, most people are going through the same exact thing that you are. And it's weird almost.
Yeah. And to add on to that, ain't nobody really like voicing it. Ain't nobody telling each other. They just making everything look okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just out here masking all this shit by these social media posts. We masking it by what we showing people and what we not showing people. Like, I think what we going through right now is believing everything that we see. It's this stuff. It's the internet. You know, it's all of these podcasts. It's Instagram. It's Facebook. It's Twitter. It's all of these things. Like, I don't think that we've actually grasped the fact that this shit is not real. It's like you're looking at the 1%ers. Like, even the social media influencers, all of that shit not real. And once they figure that out, once they figure out everybody is getting up, going to a place of work, trying to make ends meet, trying not to fall under the fucking scope. I don't care what, if you have children, responsibilities, house bills, car notes, you're trying to continue to make your train keep going. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care how you try to break it down. If you are making it on your own, if you're not at home living with your parents, if you don't have you are out here trying to make it to the next payday. I'm not saying people are living check to check. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're trying to keep your head above water because everything is changing in your life right before you. Since the pandemic, everything has changed for us. And whether you believe it or not, I think that we're struggling with this change. Because there was a time where we could go out and do whatever the hell we wanted and just about get away with it and have no consequences. Now, shit, you got to figure out if you're going to push that car note back. You got to figure out if you ain't going to pay the light bill this month. And I don't think that we've come all the way to the realization that it's time to buckle down because we are actually the new adults.
Yeah.
Like, you got to start being responsible for your shit. Take some credit for your shit.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think another side to that is, like, going to when I said breakthrough, it's unlearning and the ways of our parents and grandparents, right? You know, they were big on finding a good job and a quote-unquote good job. You know, it was good for them at that time and sticking with it to just
Staying
put
there for 40 years.
Yeah, and just to put a roof over their head and food in mouths and clothes on people's backs. Now we're at a point where it's like, man, I quit tomorrow and find something else. You know, we still want to provide for our family, but in doing so, we're taking our life lessons and putting them on our kids so that way they won't have to go through the same things we go through. That's why I say a breakthrough, because it's a change happening. You know, I've seen a post that say millennials are in a perfect position. We work and we're able to work just like our parents and grandparents. Work hard, go on the job, figure it out, kick ass, excel, and, you know, all of that. But at the same time, we're hip to the newest technology and able to pick it up and learn that and advance in that as well. So that's why I say it's a breakthrough, because I think maybe not our kids, but maybe our grandkids or our great-grands, they probably won't work. You know, if they do work, they probably won't work like we worked.
Yeah.
It'll be different, hopefully. You know what I mean? So that's why I say a breakthrough. It's definitely a change. And I think we're at the pendulum where, you know, that axis is turning.
Yeah. We have to realize it too, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I also think that that's the benefit for the millennials too, right? Is as much as we're having to adapt, we've been able to go through so much. I think off the top of my head, we were able to live through 8 different gaming systems. You see what I'm saying? Like Super Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, 3. Like we've been able to see all of this
GameCube,
you know, change that we've been able to adapt to. But now it's like Ken was saying, is how do we teach the next generation how to do so? I also feel like we are at the point where we're finally dealing with traumas that maybe we don't know how to deal with. But I'm willing to go through that as this generation for the next generation to understand how to process through that.
It's always something that past generations leave for the next generation, that they discover it, and then the next generation figure it out, and then the next generation after that, they hone it.
Right.
Like they live in it, they know it. We saw them do it. Let's take off running with it, right?
No, it's like, bro, I just got good at Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about Power BIs that my kids are doing now, right? And it's
crazy.
like, bro, how do you do
coding and all of that?
Yeah, like
our kids are doing these things.
I got to YouTube it.
Yeah.
Just to understand how to do it, but.
And you know, to both of y'all points, you know, and that's why I call us tweeners. You know, we're stuck in a place where we see it, we saw it, we know about all of these things, and we're trying to figure it out. And we're trying to excel and exceed in it, but also set it up to where they can take off running with it. So that's why it's so tough for us, and I feel like that's what we're struggling with. I feel like we're struggling mightily with trying to come out of being a tweener and actually be able to pass the sticks off to our kids and the next generation without them tripping over the next opponent, without them tripping over the China, without them tripping over the Russians. Like, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot on our shoulders right now, and I don't think that we like, not all of us know it. We don't wholeheartedly understand what we're faced with right now. Like, because they still are putting this stuff on our shoulders. Like, we're not so old to where it's like not our problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Like, we still are very much a part of this. And we still have to figure out what's going on to be able to tell them and pass the torch to them so they can keep running.
I agree. And within that, you know, we still have to deal with, like you say, so much of what's going on within the world, upon trying to make our homes right, and make sure everyone is taken care of. You know, and when I finally realized that, you know, they say ignorance is bliss. When I stopped being ignorant to what was going on, a lot of stuff became a lot less funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's serious, bro. Like, it's really serious. Because time ain't
going
to wait on nobody. It's not going to wait.
Time flashing by us. And that's
wait,
another scary part about it.
Bro. And
that's another scary part, bro. Time is ticking. And like you just said, I'm one of the ones, too. I just figured it out. Imagine how many more of us are just now figuring out or still trying to figure it out and don't understand it and out here playing and joke. Man, if our peers start figuring it out at 40 and 45 and 50, what does that say for the people, for our children and the generations coming behind us?
Yeah.
They ain't got a chance.
You just got to pray and that they can pick it up. You know, along throughout time, you have the ones that figure it out at an early age.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I often feel like it ain't enough time in the day. Like, Big G, you could have gave us 10 more hours, bro.
Man, this time shit is an illusion anyway.
Yeah, technically.
Shit is an illusion.
Yeah, in a sense, because, I mean, it really is just a measuring tool.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
An illusion.
That's all it is just really a measuring tool, because your life expectancy, it's, 75 years, but it's just a tool. It can scare you or it can motivate you, but it's just to determine, like, how long you've been here.
Correct.
You still got to get up and go to work. You still got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? So make the best of your life, but at the same time, don't be irresponsible, especially the people that got people coming behind you.
Yeah, I mean, we were all raised on, take that leap when the time is right. But, like, how you know when the time is right? You know what I'm saying? To me, there's never a perfect time. There's not a perfect time to have a kid. There's not a perfect time to get married. Like, sometimes you have to jump and figure out what's going to happen, We were having this conversation, at work. Is there ever a perfect time? Is there ever the right time to do it? And, for me, it's tomorrow doesn't exist without today. Yesterday was already done. Yesterday is what it was, so what we do today defines the outcome for tomorrow. Like, if you jump, you're either going to fail or you're going to fly. One of the two things has to happen. The saying is every action has a reaction, right? But at the same time, every reaction needs an action. So sitting here waiting for the perfect time to, let's just say, ask your girl to marry her, right? Like, you can wait years and then that time passes you by. Yep. So sometimes you to me, you just got to take that leap and figure out what happens. I've been thinking about this for the last 2-3 weeks now, and it's like, take this podcast, for example, right? Bro, we were talking about this for almost a year before we did it. Imagine where we would have been if we would have just said, you know what, boom, let's go. Like, ain't no telling where we would have been by now. Same with career paths, same with families, same with relationships. Like, is there ever a right time to end your relationship? Is there ever a right time to go into a new relationship? Bruh, live in it. Everything is today. Tomorrow, you're not guaranteed. So live in what you have today and deal with what happens tomorrow. Because you're going to go through something. You're going to make a bad choice sometimes. But you can fix bad choices. Some are extreme for sure. Yeah. Or, but you can work to fix bad choices. I say that. But even in those bad choices, you're going to have to live in whatever choice that you make.
Correct.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree. The relationship part of that is tricky because there's other people involved. You know what I mean? That don't mean just go dive off the deep end because something went wrong within your relationship. She didn't cook, you didn't eat all day, so you come home like, fuck you, I'm out. I don't want to do this no more. That ain't no reason to just leave. You know what I mean? So don't take it so literal, but just know that whatever decision you make, if it does not work out, there's going to be regret that comes about. Try not to live within that regret, because once you start trying to live with regret, you're going to get overwhelmed. It's going to consume you. You're going to end up in a very dark place. I've been there. It's not fun. It's not a happy place to be in. So there isn't a perfect time to do things. Like he said, take those chances, take those leaps, leap of faith, have faith, and also have a plan within it. Don't just jump out the window and don't have, an alternative. Because then, then you're gonna be fucked. In lack of a better word, it's gonna be tough.
But it's also tricky, right? Because like you can try to plan as best as you can, but okay, you can't plan to sneeze on a drive. That sneeze can end up in a wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't plan for stuff like that. But the intention was to go on the drive to get from point A to point B, whatever it was. So just know that you're gonna have to deal with variables as you go. I mean, ain't no getting around that.
It's never a right time to say goodbye.
I've been holding that in for the longest, but I'm glad you did it.
This has been episode 21 of the Justice Pod.
Could you just imagine? He said sneeze and end up in a wreck.
Bruh, I told y'all, that's my biggest fear, bro.
I get it, but like, we too childish for this, dog.
It's never a right time.
I apologize if this is anybody out there.
A right time to say
Could you just imagine sneezing and your body just goes to a whole spasm?
God, is that you?
Bro, y'all seen me
You
sneeze.
can't control
God,
it.
is that you? Wait, no. I was just going to Tornado Burger. What do I do? Hell no, I just sneeze.
Why is Halo so shiny? But what about them people that have like sneeze attacks, bro? Could you imagine having one of them in rush hour traffic?
I'm telling you. It's one of my biggest fears, bro. That and a cigarette butt flying back in and burning a hole in me, man.
Nah, that's funny though.
Episode 21.
We out.
Here's the thing, it's just us.
We can't say that? We can say that, bro. For your pride.
For them to be doing that.
Yeah,
never mind.
it might have been a parade.
Nah, bro.
They doing some wheelies.
Hey, it might have been a parade. It's a parade inside my CDL.
Pull over.
You popped a wheelie too. Every time you pop a wheelie, you always trying to outdo me.